What began as a playful rivalry has exploded into an all-out war. The laughter has faded, the camaraderie shattered, and what remains is a tense silence that grips the air. At the center of it all, your name lingers like a whispered threat. You didn't ask for this battle, but the moment you stepped into your power, egos broke, alliances fractured, and betrayal became the new currency. Now the streets hum with rumors, and the stakes have never been higher. Someone is about to face the consequences, and the fallout will be unforgettable. Buckle up. This is the turning point. They once stood united, fueled by a shared mission to bring you down. Their weapons were sharp, gossip, manipulation, and lies spun so tightly they began to believe their own fabrications. They painted you as the villain, the outcast, the obstacle to their success. For a while it worked. Their voices were louder, their unity appeared unbreakable. They convinced themselves they had the upper hand, but cracks are forming, and the truth is starting to seep through. The masks they wore are slipping. The unity that once gave them strength is now unraveling, poisoned by mistrust and resentment. They no longer just question you, they question each other. Who started the lies? Who exaggerated the stories? Who secretly envied the very person they claimed to despise? The truth is unavoidable now. You were never their enemy. You were the mirror reflecting their flaws, the light exposing their shadows. Without you to target, they're forced to face themselves, and they don't like what they see. Their bond was never real. It was built on their shared disdain for you. Now that the illusion has shattered, all that's left is the truth. Their so-called unity was a fragile house of cards, and it's collapsing under the weight of their own dishonesty. What remains are the ruins of a connection that was never meant to last. The once united community is now splintered into factions. Liars are turning on liars. Manipulators are outmaneuvering each other. The very tactics they used to bring you down are now being turned inward, and they've lost sight of what held them together, you. The irony is sharp. They spent so much time creating illusions that they can no longer tell what's real. When there's no common target, the enemy begins to devour itself. That's exactly what's happening now. Secrets are spilling, betrayals are brewing, and the tension is suffocating. They wanted chaos, and now they're drowning in it. Whispers grow louder, alliances crumble, and trust is a distant memory. They're no longer fighting you. They're fighting to survive each other. What once seemed unbreakable is now fragile and splintered. Best friends have turned into bitter enemies. The same people who once plotted together in secret now meet in even smaller circles, forming new alliances, preparing for the inevitable fallout. They know the end is near, and no one wants to be the one left standing when the dust settles. They thought their lies would shield them forever. They believed they were untouchable. But paranoia has crept in, unraveling their confidence. Every word is second-guessed. Every glance is suspicious. Fear has consumed them, and the harder they try to hide, the more obvious their guilt becomes. The web they spun is now tightening around them. And then it happens, the first betrayal. It begins with the weakest link, the one who couldn't handle the pressure. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was desperation, but someone talks. Secrets spill, names are named, and the blame is passed around like a hot coal. What they thought was loyalty was only convenience, and now the fire they started has turned on them. Loyalty has evaporated, replaced by suspicion and fear. They're at war with each other now, scrambling to keep their crumbling alliances intact. But the damage is done. The ones who once led the charge against you are now being hunted within their own ranks. Someone will pay for the betrayal, and the storm clouds overhead are growing darker. The chaos they created is consuming them from the inside out. They thought their plan was flawless, but perfection is an illusion. The lies they built their empire on have started to collapse, and now they're scrambling to save themselves. The loyalty they swore to one another is gone, replaced by desperation. It's every man for himself now, and the story they tried to control is slipping out of their grasp. The first cracks appeared in whispers, in frantic messages, in secret meetings held under the weight of fear. They're trying to erase their tracks, rewrite the narrative, and disappear into the shadows. But it's too late. The truth is no longer theirs to control, and it's dragging them down like quicksand. The breaking point comes when the weakest link folds. Out of guilt or fear, they confess everything. Who said what? Who started it all? Who orchestrated the lies? The foundation of their scheme crumbles, and panic erupts. The alliances they once celebrated are now shattered. Finger-pointing replaces plotting, and the ones who laughed the loudest are now the first to fall. The consequences are no longer whispers. They're roaring to the surface. Careers, reputations, finances, and relationships are crumbling under the weight of their actions. They thought they were the hunters, but now they're the hunted. The tables have turned, and the chaos they unleashed is coming back for them tenfold. They thought it was just a game, just words, just petty drama. But they played with forces they didn't understand, and now those forces are turning on them. Every lie, every attack, every manipulation carried a weight they couldn't comprehend. And the moment you stepped away, their borrowed power began to fade. They needed you to survive, but now they're left with nothing but the mess they created. Without you, they're unraveling. They spent so much time feeding off your energy that they forgot how to sustain themselves. Now, they're exhausted, drained, and haunted by the very traps they set for you. Karma doesn't forget, and it's hitting them harder than they ever imagined. Sleepless nights, strange misfortunes, and unexplained losses are just the beginning. They laughed when they thought they'd won. They mocked you, believing you were powerless. But they underestimated the protection that surrounded you. Every curse they sent your way was a step closer to their own downfall. Now, they're scrambling for a way out, but it's too late. The darkness they unleashed is coming for them, and there's no escape. The walls are closing in, and the game they thought they controlled is falling apart. But while they're consumed by chaos, you're rising. The universe is on your side, and every move you make is guided by a higher purpose. Stay focused, stay strong, and let their downfall serve as a reminder of the power of truth. There was a spy in their camp, someone sent to destroy you from within. But what they didn't anticipate was the truth. The more time they spent around you, the more they realized you weren't the villain they were told to hate. You were authentic, genuine, and nothing like the lies they'd been fed. Now the spy is questioning everything, and their loyalty is shifting. The spy has a choice: stay loyal to the lies or embrace the truth. They choose you, not because you asked, but because they can't deny what's real. Their betrayal of their own camp sends shockwaves through the group, exposing secrets and unraveling the web of deception. The ones who thought they controlled the game are now scrambling to contain the fallout. At first, the signs were subtle: a missed opportunity here, a failed plan there. But as time passed, the pattern became undeniable. The very lies they spun to destroy you began to unravel their own lives. Their manipulation turned into their downfall, and every rumor they spread became a crack in their foundation. The truth has a way of shining through, and now, the credibility they worked so hard to build is crumbling before their eyes. Now, it's their names being whispered in suspicion. The same crowd they once manipulated is turning on them, realizing they were the true deceivers all along. The energy they sent out, the curses, the slander, the spiritual attacks, has come full circle. Sleepless nights, mounting anxiety, and unexplained losses are consuming them. They played with forces they didn't understand, and now the consequences are burning them alive. The people who tried to block your path are now standing at their own dead ends. The opportunities they once had are gone, their influence fading into nothingness. They thought they could steal your blessings, but what wasn't meant for them could never last. In trying to destroy you, they destroyed themselves. Their betrayals have come full circle, and the trap they set for you has become their own undoing. Panic is setting in, and desperation is taking over. The group that once seemed untouchable is now fractured beyond repair. They're searching for someone to blame, a scapegoat to carry the weight of their downfall. Whispers turn into accusations, and the one who panicked first becomes the new target. The same fear they once inflicted on others is now consuming them, and there's no escape from the chaos they created. The one who made the wrong move is now being cast out. Maybe they got caught in a lie, maybe they crossed the wrong person, or maybe they simply became too much of a liability. Whatever the reason, they're being exiled, discarded like they never mattered. In a group like this, loyalty is an illusion, and the moment you're no longer useful, you're disposable. For some, the price of betrayal will be even higher. The fallout is brutal: financial ruin, public humiliation, even legal consequences. They thought they were in control, but now they're the ones being hunted. The irony is sharp. Everything they're facing now is because they came against someone divinely protected. This was never just about petty drama, it was about spiritual law, and now they're paying the price for breaking it. You didn't have to lift a finger. You didn't need to seek revenge or defend yourself. The moment you removed yourself from the chaos, everything began to fall apart on its own. Your energy was the glue holding their schemes together, and without you, they have nothing left. Karma, divine law, or the universe, whatever you call it, is handling everything for you. All you need to do is stay focused, stay protected, and keep moving forward. Their downfall is a lesson in itself. They spent so much time trying to tear you down that they never stopped to secure their own foundation. Now they're standing in the ruins of their own creation, scrambling to escape the mess they made. But the truth is clear. You were never the problem. You were the catalyst for their reckoning, and now they're being forced to face the consequences of their actions. Before, they thought they were unstoppable. Now they're realizing too late that the power they wielded wasn't their own. They fed off your energy, manipulated your kindness, and built their plans around your downfall. But the moment you walked away, their borrowed strength crumbled. Now they're left with nothing but the weight of their own mistakes. You've stepped into a new chapter, leaving their chaos behind. The gifts within you are awakening, and your intuition is sharper than ever. You're no longer reacting to their games. You're creating your own path. The more they scramble, the more you rise. Your light is too powerful for their shadows to touch, and the world is finally seeing you for who you truly are. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you're stepping into your purpose with grace and strength. Every stumble, every fall, every moment of doubt has prepared you for this. You're no longer just surviving, you're thriving. And as they turn on each other and collapse under the weight of their own actions, you're soaring higher than ever. This is your time, your victory, and your story to tell.